2. The value of literature derives from the fact that society recognizes it as legitimate and accepted literature. This doesn't mean every written word is true, as there's always room for interpretation and details that aren't unequivocal. Our focus is national and central historical events, where any book deviating from interpretation wouldn't be considered legitimate. However, just because a book is considered legitimate doesn't mean it's beyond criticism. For example, Herodotus, called the father of history, was criticized by other historians. The historian Cassius calls him a liar several times. This didn't relegate his work to mere literature. His writings are foundational to parts of world history. 3. The broader the representation of society in the books, the better the evidence for cross-referencing information. Literature that comes entirely from a specific king, party, university, or written in a particular style naturally represents a narrower cross-section of society. 4. Literature can sometimes focus on a specific aspect, such as royal courts and rulers. The more types and genres of literature we have, the more we learn about reality and history. If we have literature of different kinds and genres, it increases the credibility of the knowledge we can derive from them. 5. We know continuous histories that are beyond doubt, but they include weak links that lack coverage. For example, the continuity of the New Testament among European nations is unquestioned, but it has a weak link regarding the 1st centuries AD. The New Testament, if it represents Jesus' words, wasn't recognized during his life or in his place. The Jewish people, among whom Jesus arose, didn't recognize him as the Messiah but sent him to crucifixion. A group of his followers claimed to have preserved his words, and its main growth and recognition came in other countries. Jewish literature from the 1st centuries AD says nothing about Jesus. This is a weak link in the historical sequence. But when history passes in a historical sequence within the same nation, it becomes much stronger. 6. Literature documenting the existence of a specific book is sufficient to prove its existence. But the more synchronized the literature is among its different parts, the more credible it becomes. If we look at the documentation of the New Testament in medieval literature, we find that Eusebius in the 5th century quotes the New Testament. A bishop living 100 years after him quotes Eusebius. Later literature quotes that bishop, and so on. The books attest to each other. A pyramid of testimonies is created. Our goal here is only to show the sequence, not to deal with conspiracy theories, which we will discuss in the following episodes. It's only worth mentioning that we don't believe in conspiracy theories, not because they are unfounded, but because accepting them requires believing that an entire human system conspired in a way unknown to that society itself. That a large part of society systematically deceives another part for years, and the conspiracy is never revealed, but only forgotten and disappears. This is inconceivable in any functioning society.